Halftime.
Yes, sir! It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportsstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez. Rock the Mic champ number 4, joined today by the new Rock the Mic champ, the Hex, Tanner Carlson. What's going on, my man?
Hey,
Your
man.
first show.
I'm on top of the world. I'm on cloud 9. Rock the Mic was awesome last night. What a great turnout. Great competition. The finalists were fantastic. And that was one of the big things for me, was just getting to know everybody, like all the finalists. And then you guys too, just meeting everybody at the bar, like Rudy and Rob and Jason. Everybody was there at Slackers. And then the finalists and kind of getting to know everybody. That to me was the coolest experience of it all.
Now, when they said your name, that you were the winner, what went through your mind?
American Idol. I just felt like I was on American Idol. Like the spotlight was on me, the lights went low, and I thought they were going to go, well, let's go to a commercial break before we name this. No, it was, it was kind of one of those things where I didn't think I was even going to be nervous for it until it was that final audition last night. It wasn't until I got to that stage where I was like, oh crap, this is like actually real. Like this is legit. And so once it came down to the final 3, and I was talking to one of the contestants, I was like, I really hope they don't go like, all right, 5th place, 4th place, 3rd, and then go all the way down. Like if I know that I got like 5th and I was like the worst of everybody, I'm going to feel so bad about myself, but it ended up being good. And I ended up winning the whole thing. So, but yeah, I never thought it was going to get to that point of me actually winning. So it's a little bit surreal still, even being like in the studio right now is just kind of a surreal feeling right now.
It was funny having the powwow 5 minutes before we named the winner. I mean, we really decided 5 minutes before. Now, earlier in the afternoon, probably about an hour before it was announced, we kind of got together and kind of brainstormed it. And we were kind of flip-flopping back and forth as to who we thought was going to be the winner. And it had been like that for the past week or two. And 5 minutes before the announcement, Rob calls us over and says, all right, what are we doing? Are we sure? Which direction are we going in? And he wanted the input. I mean, ultimately, it's his decision, but he was kind enough to ask us for our opinions and things like that. But fantastic. It's been a great journey for me. I won 2 years ago. Now I have this show, and it's fun, man. This is good times. Everyone here is incredible to work with. These are really good people. I've made lifelong friends now with some of these people, like James Pledger, who's producing this show. What's going on, my man? How have you been?
Oh, I'm good. So, congrats to the Hex first.
Thank you. Actually, I do have to add one more thing in terms of meeting everybody. This is my first day meeting James face to face, because he never wanted to actually go out to Slackers and introduce himself and be friendly and cordial. No, he was running things here. He was running the show. But no, it was great meeting Pledge for the first time today.
And speaking of being here, running things and coming out and meeting people, as I was on my way to Slackers for this huge Papa Shot tournament that was gonna go down. All of a sudden, the location changed as soon as I get off work.
Okay, that was the funny thing about last night. Okay, the funny thing about last night with the crowning of the new Rock the Mic champ was you took off early. You won the title, and you were gone 15 minutes later. Where did you go?
No, I had some drinks, and I was talking to some people, but my wife was locked out of our apartment.
And was that like 5 hours away? Because you could have come back.
I could have come. I guess you're right. I could have come back, but no, I was starving, so I ate at home, and then by the time I ate, I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Man, when I won Rock the Mic, that party didn't end till like 3. That was good times.
You're welcome.
But last night's party ended for us around 11, right? So
whoa, y'all stayed out late.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Oh, that's
Tonto.
right. That's right. You went out even more after us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we ended up hanging out at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, which thank you guys for hosting this event again. It was amazing. It's always fun there. And we were there probably for another 2 hours after the contest. And afterwards, I finally convinced everybody to go karaoke, because Dad's Karaoke is only like 3 exits over. It's 2.5 miles away. And I can't believe I convinced people to go.
Yeah.
We were there till about 11 o'clock or so. And man, I made a complete fool of myself out there. I had one of the worst karaoke performances I have ever had to a song that I've karaoke'd well before a dozen times before. But then I realized this is the first time I've gone karaoke since COVID. It's been 2 years. And I now think that I officially suck at karaoke.
Well, karaoke is all about getting crowd involvement and picking a song that everybody can kind of get along and sing along with. What song did you choose? That song choice is probably most important of karaoke.
Okay,
of anything.
I sang "Possum Kingdom" by the Toadies. Okay, it's a '90s classic song. It's a rock song. I've done it before. Usually the crowd likes it. It's one of those obscure rock songs that's popular, but it wasn't like Nirvana popular or Pearl Jam popular. It was just a nice song from the '90s, right?
Mhm.
And what I do before I karaoke is I tend to go to the bathroom first. And by the way, when I signed up, there were 22 people in front of me. And then when it got down to about 11 people in front of me, I decided to go to the men's room and I have a little bit of a warm up. Okay. I spend about 5 to 8 seconds kind of just going over the lyrics to the song.
Little mom spaghetti.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I just go up there, make up your mind. I just,
No. We figured out last night you were bad at this. Don't bring it here.
So thank you. So what was funny about it was normally I get the first 3 or 4 lines out, just sing it to myself in the bathroom or off to the side. And I realized that I had no voice. Like I was cracking. And I think it was because we were screaming at each other at Slackers and so much was going on. And I think I lost my voice. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to sing tonight. I'm going to go ahead and take my name off of this. And as I get back to my seat, Jason Jimenez is at the DJ booth paying the DJ to move me up to the top. And I'm like, oh my God, I do not want to sing this song. And the second that it started and the first line came out, I had no voice. And it was just a tragic 3-minute and 20-second experience. And I kind of want to go back and karaoke just one simple song so I can walk out of the gym and just retire.
You got to do like Sweet Caroline, like something super easy. Like it's like a free throw, you just got to kind of just end on a good note at least.
Yeah, kind of like Dak last week, down 30-0, get a touchdown, get a win, get something.
A confidence boost.
I need a confidence boost karaoke-wise so I can then just retire.
Right. And so this karaoke bar, is this like you're on stage in front of the entire...
Oh, yeah.
So it's not one of those individual room, you get your own studio karaoke bars.
No, I made a complete ass out of myself in front of over 100 people.
You know what I'm hearing, Tanner?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm hearing a whole lot of excuses. I was yelling at Slackers. My voice was cracking.
Well, no.
It's a full moon. It's in retrograde. Like, I stubbed my toe earlier in the morning.
He just went full 8 Mile is all it was. He just went full 8 Mile and he got scared. He choked up. It happens. It happens.
No, I knew it was going to be awful because, again, I sang to myself in the bathroom for 10 seconds. And I was like, this is awful. This is awful. I've won money 3 times at karaoke. 3 times I've won money. I'm okay.
How bad were the other 2?
Dude,
that's a good question. That's a really good question. I think that needs to be addressed. How bad were the other 2?
There's nothing worse than going up to the stage when someone's really good in front of you. And I told somebody the other day that I really want to sing Private Eyes by Hall & Oates, but I'm afraid no one will clap with me on the other side. That would just be so awful. But man, it was my first time at karaoke since COVID. And I think I just lost my game when it came to that.
Yeah. See, last time I did karaoke, I was on a cruise and we did karaoke probably like once every night. And so the first night it was like adults only karaoke bar, whatever. And I went up there plastered and I said, you know what? This one's for my baby doll. She's in the back row. I love you, babe. To my wife, it was Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah.
And we sing in the car, so we know how we sound. And it's like I guess it's one of those like you're singing in the shower moments where it's like it sounds so good when it's just you two in the car until you're actually in front of a whole crowd of people. I didn't realize I couldn't hit those notes, although I've hit them all the time while I'm driving, and it was just a disaster. So second night, I just went with a simple "Hey Jude" from the Beatles.
Yes.
Where it's just nah, 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 nah. You don't have to actually sing. You just, "Hey Jude," and that's all you got to say basically throughout the entire. And then the crowd is also singing with you. So I chose it's like I said, it's all about song choice. That's one of the most important things about karaoke.
The karaoke bar is a weird dichotomy in terms of the fact that it can be a great uplifting place with a lot of fan involvement. But then there's that one dude that comes to the mic and you see the song and you get really hyped, and then they're awful at it, and it can destroy the entire mood of the group that you're having fun with. Like, it's really weird. Like a karaoke bar, that's a bold night out.
And it, not only that, but it also helps whenever you have like a group song where you can have like almost like, you know, we were talking Spice Girls and boy bands, you know, in terms of if you have like a group song to where it's like different parts and other people can kind of join you on stage, and you've got like your buddies on stage with you doing it. No, that also makes it way easier.
Absolutely agree. But the funny part about last night, besides me wetting the bed on stage, was Pledger seemed nervous being out of his cocoon, which is the north side of San Antonio. I was like, dude, it's 3 exits over from Slackers. And you were like looking around like, who are these people? I don't recognize anyone here. You seemed a little bit, I don't know, disturbed by it all.
I went out of my comfort zone in terms of like being out, like outside the north side of town. Like that didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
It was more so just like, it was a long day. I was kind of worn down. It's been a long week, month, year. Rock the mic has been a huge ordeal.
It was such a long night that he went out someplace else afterwards.
Yeah, and I had fun there too.
It was such a long event, Rock the Mic, that he was like, all right, now I've got to go somewhere else and get more tired and more exhausted and continue this party. That's how exhausted he was, is that he just wanted to keep it going.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to retire now as a karaoke singer.
No, but like you said, you got to get that one more good. You got to get one more. You got to have a Kobe performance. You got to have one more 60-point performance, and then you can walk off into the sunset.
I would like to have the Kobe performance, but I think I'm going to have the Greg Popovich performance because, man, last night the Spurs looked awful against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll be talking about that in a bit. In about 10 minutes, we'll be talking about the Spurs. 12:30, huge game this weekend. Cannot wait for Sunday, 3:25. Cowboys, Chiefs. Tanner's actually going to be at that game at Arrowhead. Mm-hmm. We'll get his impressions of that, give his prediction. You know, he's a Cowboy fan, so you know what he's going to say. At 1 o'clock, we'll be talking about UTSA football. There is a bowl that has representatives coming to see UTSA play this weekend. Kind of interested in that. And at 1:30, you know, we showed love to the Spice Girls earlier this week. Let's show some love to the boy bands. Who are the best boy bands of all time? We have a Twitter poll out on that. You can reach out to me on Twitter at MikeESPNSA. Tanner, follow him on Twitter. It's at TannerCarlson20. Pledger is at I Am Pledger. We're also on Facebook Live and on YouTube. You can go on to San Antonio Sports Stars Facebook page, our YouTube page, like, subscribe, and it'll alert you as to when these shows start. We love to have you here. We're an interactive show. We'll like to read your comments. Also, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open, 656-ESPN, if you want to talk about these topics. It's a good time. So let's get some headlines going. Here's Pledge with a 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
All right, throw a little curveball at you coming out the gate. We were going to talk baseball, but this is much more interesting to me. Reports are Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown got a fake COVID-19 vax card. He is trying to skirt the NFL rules. He was called out by a former chef of his that he owes $10,000 to.
Okay, I've been reading that story today. A little bit confused. Okay, I don't know if I trust somebody who says he owes me money, right? Right. There's an ulterior motive to that. Now, sure. I'm not saying that Brown didn't do this, but I'm not ready to convict him yet.
Is there a least surprising player that this happened to?
That's the one, though.
Is there anybody you would be less surprised about this storyline coming out of other than Antonio Brown?
I can see that, but is this a felony if it is true? But it's not. Like, I mean, how are they going to prove it?
I mean, it's pretty easy to prove.
I mean, I would say that you would take your vax card, but what if you have? Surely the chef knew a nurse or somebody who could get him a vax card, and then all you have to do is write and pen. Mine's just a handwritten. Yeah, this is the date that I got the vax on.
Now, if this is true, didn't the chef say he was the one who went to go get it, or he was asked about it?
I think he was an accomplice.
It was an accomplice. What it says is that he obtained a fake vaccination card for a Johnson & Johnson shot. This, according to text messages provided by Ruiz, as he offered $500 for the fake card. So,
okay, but why would you even offer $500 if the guy owes you money? He owes you $10,000. So you're like, hey, dude, for $500 more on top of the debt that you owe me,
Your IOU.
I'll just add it on top of your IOU, as you know, you'll owe me $10,500 after I get this Vax card for you.
I mean, I look at it and you can say they're both kind of incredible sources and that you don't really want to believe either. But after what we saw with Hard Knocks from Antonio Brown, I'm sorry. And he has a history of not paying people within his life. Remember the painting that he got done at his house? He's got chefs in the past, nutritionists. Like, Antonio Brown has a long track record of bad decision making.
But playing devil's advocate, if you were the one who was victimized by this, by being robbed of $10,000, if you will, shortchanged by $10,000, if you had to come up with something that could hurt the other person, wouldn't this be one of the likely things to say?
Especially following the Aaron Rodgers debacle. Is this just a fallout from the Aaron Rodgers situation? Is this just fallout from that? Like, and then also, like, one of the things that, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, after that news came out, I said, this is just the first domino to drop. Mm-hmm. And I think Antonio Brown might be the second domino to drop. I think there are plenty of players, maybe not as big of names, that have tried to squeak and kind of squeal their way out of the COVID protocols in the league. And that might not just be NFL. That could be NBA, MLB, whoever has these types of protocols.
Again, it's against the law, man. It's against the law.
Well, that night, I know I've got family members that once they were starting to take masks off after the vaccines were coming out and people were getting vaccines, they were like, well, I'll just say that I've gotten the vaccine. They're not asking for proof, and they would just walk into Walmart. Like, why wouldn't you do that at the professional athlete level and try to be more part of your team? Like, why would you not try to get away with that?
Headline 1.
Dallas intends to retire franchise legend Dirk Nowitzki's 41 when the team hosts Golden State on January the 5th. This according to Mark Stein. Nowitzki, 43, played all 21 of his NBA seasons with the Mavericks, retiring at the end of the 2018-19 campaign, and the 14-time All-Star and 2007 League MVP led the franchise to its first and only title back in 2011. He leads the club in all-time games played, points, rebounds, blocks, and three-pointers. In June, Nowitzki actually returned to the Mavericks organization officially in capacity, joining the front office as a special advisor as he helped Mark Cuban settle on the new head coach, Jason Kidd.
Well, at least Maverick fans will have something to cheer for that night because they're going to get smoked by the Warriors.
Yeah. Okay. Should I come out now? Should I come out of the closet?
I
let's hear
saw
this. I know you. I saw the fist pump.
I am a Dallas Mavericks fan.
Like
on
Quinn.
San Antonio Sports Radio.
Like Quinn.
So this is fantastic. Dirk Nowitzki, obviously one of my favorite all-time players. I kind of want to get y'all's take on San Antonio Spurs fans' opinion on Dirk. Where do y'all rank him in terms of all-time greats, along with, and not just amongst the league, but in his own position? Obviously, a very famous and all-time great power forward in your own town.
Great question. Okay, because here's the thing. I suppose the Mavericks are the Spurs' biggest rival. But I don't think any Spurs fan hates Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay.
I don't think any of us do. There was no ill will towards him. Now, that 2011 title, y'all can thank Manu Ginobili for that because of that and one that was the most boneheaded play in Spurs history. Okay, maybe the Rod Strickland no-look pass was the most boneheaded play. But either way, the Mavericks got one because the Spurs messed up. Okay, and they got the Western Conference Finals. But here's the thing. Where does he rank? To me, I think that Dirk is a top 20 player of all time, and I think he's a top 10 scorer of all time. I mean, he is on the top 5 of all-time points scored, but just getting his shot, it's an incredible shot. And what I like about the Mavericks court is they have that silhouette.
Oh yeah,
It's a great
his
look.
fadeaway.
It's a great
Yeah.
look.
And one thing I've always said, there's Hakeem, there's Timmy, and then honestly, I have to go Dirk. Like I'm not gonna put Dirk above Tim. That's just because of championships. But those battles and throughout the 2000s between Dirk and Tim Duncan, I mean, that was must-watch TV. That was, you had to tune in, and that's just enjoying the game of basketball. The fundamentals between those two going at it. I don't think it got any better in terms of on the court. Those two just head-to-head in the same division, in the same conference, battling it out, night in, night out.
All love for Dirk Nowitzki, man. We respect him.
Well, that's good to hear because one of my best friends, I had to basically spent half of my childhood in his house. They were diehard Spurs fans. And so obviously the Spurs got the better of the Mavs way more than vice versa than the other way around. And so I had to come to terms and respect the Spurs organization for how it is that they conduct their team and obviously the big three. But yeah, Tim Duncan is one of the I'll put Tim Duncan number one at power forward, and then Dirk's maybe 2 spots behind him.
Dirk is fantastic. I think he's one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA. He is the current version of Larry Bird, basically, when it came to
except at 7 feet,
revolutionizing the position and the way that he played it. I mean, he's the first stretch big man that we really saw in the NBA and the volume 3-point shooter. And he's not just an incredible player, but an incredible person. I just wish he had a better organization that could have done more with his talent. And I also wondered what could have been if he and Steve Nash stayed together.
Yeah, that's an all-time what if. Talk about the Disney series what if, with the Marvel universe. You could do that with sports.
Have no idea what you're talking about.
That's fine. Pledger does. I've got it. Pledger, me and Pledger are making eye contact right now. We're leaving you out of the
making eyes.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're the captain now.
Yeah, we're the captains now, and so we're taking over the show. And so, but that would be a great what if in terms of the sports world. And another thing that you said that jumped out at me, he changed the game. That to me personifies what an all-time great should be considered. That should be one of the things in categories as what makes an all-time great player in any sport. How did you change the game? What fingerprint did you put that changed the landscape of the sport that you played forever? And now we're seeing stretch fours, we're seeing stretch fives. If you don't have a big man that can shoot, you're almost lost in the league now.
Agreed.
Headline 0.
This one's a little bit of pandering to myself, but Houston Texans quarterback Jeff Driscoll is moving to tight end ahead of the game against the Titans. That's right. The shall we just call them the team that everybody aspires to be in the NFL, the Houston Texans? They are making this bold move as their tight ends coach, Andy Bishop, told reporters that Driscoll is making the switch to tight end, adding that the 28-year-old is a rare athlete. Houston believes that Driscoll has the size and speed to make this switch successfully.
Ooh, the next Taysom Hill, I see. You know what? Good for him, man. He needs to make it. If he wants to be in this league, might be something he needs to do. There's nothing wrong with playing multiple positions. Tight end, quarterback. It seems to be that they sometimes gravitate towards each other. They have the same size. Maybe he's a blocking tight end more than a catching tight end, but I'm okay with it.
That's my thing, though, is that tight end is so much more than just running a route in the slot and trying to catch a little 5-yard touchdown pass. There's so much more than that.
It's what Tebow should have been from the get-go. And that's why he wasn't in the NFL anymore.
See, my thing, that it reminds me so much of Tebow, and we saw these highlights in preseason games of him trying to block and getting in the way of linebackers. Driscoll is a smaller version of what Tim Tebow, like skinnier. Like he is a string beam. This dude is not a thick guy.
And I'm not against like a person making a switch. It's the mid-season in week 11 as you're looking at the division-leading Titans coming to town.
That's a great point.
I understand, in the offseason, we're going to you might want to bulk up and get ready for this. No, mid-season quarterback, you're going to tight end.
Yeah, that's a great point to make.
That's the 411 and a 210.
Bad news for Spurs fans last night. The Spurs got smoked 115-90 by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Good news for Spurs fans. The Spurs lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Woo! It is both one and the same. because again, I'm the captain of Team Tank.
Okay.
I'm the captain now. Pledge, he's my co-captain, right? My co-pilot when it comes to this. But the fact of the matter is, with the loss, the Spurs now have the 4th worst record in the NBA, now at 4-11.
Am I just mopping the poop deck at this time? At this point,
yes.
Where am I on this ship?
I have no idea what a poop deck is. I'm going to assume it's the bathroom, but I might be wrong.
I think it's like one of the main levels of the ship. I believe. I have no idea either.
No, it was a bad game all around. You know, the couple of things about it. The game was 13-0 at one point. So the game was over immediately. Now the Spurs did cut it down to 5 at some point, but no one really showed up yesterday. The Spurs, I mean, DeJounte Murray only had 7 points. McDermott had 9. Derek White only had 4 points. It was just a bad game all around. The only player that seemed to show up was Devin Vassell, who was 8 for 14. He had 18 points, but had a scary play. Don't know if you saw it, but there was a ball boy in the way. Lonnie Walker stole the ball somewhere around midcourt and had a quick outlet to Devin Vassell. He's taking it, has no one in front of him except for the ball boy playing defense right there. Ball boy's trying to wipe up some sweat, and Vassell had to do a Euro step around him. And man, their ankles were about 1 inch from each other when it happened. And Sean Elliott during the telecast joked about that, saying, I can't believe he had to do a Euro step on it. And they were laughing about it, but later on, it was a little bit more of a serious tone where they're like, that could have been a lot worse, but kind of scary out there. Another scary moment also was Terrion Prince, who's from San Antonio, playing for Minnesota Timberwolves. He hit Lonnie Walker in the face. Lonnie Walker was driving in with about 5 seconds to go in the third quarter, got smacked pretty hard. Prince did not make a play on the ball, was ejected from the game for a flagrant 2. Prince from San Antonio went to Warren High School. That was a scary moment, but man, it was just a bad game all around.
Yeah. And Spurs fans should be, I don't know if you're lucky if you're on Team Tank about these players getting out healthy and getting out alive in that game. But going back to the ball boy, as a kid growing up, I always thought that'd be like one of the coolest jobs ever, is being like the sweat towel boy of an NBA game and like going out on the court and like wiping it down. But that was always one of the biggest fears or concerns that I always had was basketball is such a quick game. Man, if these guys make a steal or turn the ball over and you've got LeBron James or like at the time, whenever I was a kid, like Rasheed Wallace, like going down the lane, they're not stopping for you. They're going to come right at you. And I can imagine that kid was just like, I'm trying to do my job.
He looked petrified.
Heck yeah.
He looked scared.
Yeah. I'd be terrified.
Like, am I in trouble?
Right.
He was doing his job.
Right. And I don't think you can necessarily blame him because that's just how the sport of basketball is played.
He had his back to the play too. So he never saw that guy coming, and Vassell just skips over him. And can you imagine? His heart must have sank.
Well, imagine again, another what if it was Vassell, not Lonnie Walker? What if Vassell actually did twist his ankle and was out for some period of time? That kid would have felt terrible and probably could have been fired.
Yeah. If he hadn't have done that Euro step, because not every player for the Spurs is capable of doing an appropriate Euro step. I mean, if that was Drew Eubanks or Jakob Poeltl with the ball, they would have just barreled into him, or it would have looked like the slam dunk contest from years past where you're jumping over people to dunk it. But poor kid, man. Yeah. But fortunately, it turned out fine.
Right.
Lonnie Walker is fine also. He wasn't injured in that play.
Here's the question, though. We keep saying poor kid, poor kid, poor kid. I've never been a towel mop-up boy, so I can't I don't know the amount of training or courses that you have to take, but having your back to the action seems like a first day lesson.
that does seem kind of like elementary in terms of the mop boy school.
Well, maybe he saw him coming, but or maybe he just turned his back just to brace himself, for impact, So bad times, man. But hey, lots to talk about, man. This show flies by. We're already 30 minutes in to Tanner Carlson's first show, our Rock the Mic 6 champ. The Hex, baby. I'm Quattro, joining the Hex.
Quattro and the Hex taking over San Antonio.
I know. We took that picture with Quinn Hudson yesterday. He is V. I did not realize that he was V. I did not call him that all year.
Well, that's on you.
All right, man. Hey, lots to talk about when we come back. 3:25 Sunday afternoon. I cannot wait. Cowboys, Chiefs. You don't have to be a Cowboy fan. You can be a Cowboy hater and look forward to this game. But this might actually be a preview of the Super Bowl. And man, I tell you what, if this is a Super Bowl preview, I'm all for it. Sign me up. It would be the biggest Super Bowl of all time. Let's talk about the big game and also the New England Patriots. Should we take them seriously? Are they for real? Somebody's going to come out of the AFC. This is halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and on the go at sasportstar.com.
Happy Christmas. Rapping with Jack, benefiting Family Service Association, is happening now through December 4th, benefiting the most needy families this holiday season. There are 3 ways to help. Give cash now, shop the Amazon wish list, or drop off donations at our designated locations. Complete details now at sasportstar.com. Presented by Quarter Moon, Plumbing, Heat, and AC, and in part by River City Oral Surgery, Institute for Functional Health, and Copenhagen Contemporary Furniture.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 in 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Nigel, why is there a giant turkey standing on my desk?
Oh, that's not just any turkey, Joel. That's Harold, and I thought he'd help everyone here at Quarter Moon Plumbing get in the Thanksgiving spirit. Tell Joel hi, Harold.
Hi, Harold.
Joel, I'm kind of a turkey whisperer, so to speak. I understand Harold, and he understands me.
Well, then whisper these words, Nigel. Deep fried.
Oh, no! Calm down, Harold. He didn't mean it. Was in my mouth.
From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we hope your Thanksgiving is filled with food, family, and fellowship. But most importantly, it's time to give thanks. And our entire staff wants to say thank you. Being a part of San Antonio and the surrounding communities is a blessing for each and every one of us. We couldn't ask for a better community to be a part of. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number M13229 TACLA 000743458.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Paid for by Westland Financial. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Join up the game plan for the second half of the day. It's halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Great song. Want to win tickets to every single Dallas Cowboys home game? It's simple. Just go to sasportstar.com to register to win. You can win tickets to every home game of the Dallas Cowboys because America's team calls the San Antonio Sports Star home. Welcome back to Halftime on ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com. Again, San Antonio Sports Star, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Big game on Sunday, but before we get into that game.
Was that your karaoke song?
No. I cannot do The Cure at all. Great song, but no, I can't do The Cure.
I just wanted to make sure.
I will. No, I'm not going to go there. My voice. I need some hot tea.
Some honey.
Exactly. Hey, welcome back, man. Before we get into the Cowboys-Chiefs game, because we'll talk about that for a good while, but man, last night the New England Patriots looked good.
Mm-hmm.
This team, we talked about the Chiefs and Cowboys being a potential Super Bowl matchup. What about a Bill Belichick, Tom Brady Super Bowl matchup? Because that's also possible.
It is possible.
The Bucs are very good in the NFC. Somebody's got to come out of the AFC. And I tell you what, after last night, I'm now a big believer in the New England Patriots. They beat Atlanta 25-0. But beyond that, they've only given up 13 points in the last 3 games.
Yeah. And it's not the fact that they beat the Falcons. I don't think that's what we're saying in terms of we're taking them seriously.
Right.
It's not just last night's game. They're on a 5-game win streak, and they have gone on to absolutely dismantle the Jets. They beat a very good Chargers team who I thought or still think they can make a run in the AFC. I don't think the Chargers are dead in the water by any means. The Panthers are, I think Darnold was playing in that game, and then Walker had to come in, and that was prior to a washed Cam Newton taking over. So that is meh. But the Browns, that Browns game absolutely destroyed the Browns 45-7. And that's coming off of the Browns just coming off of a huge win after letting OBJ go. And then obviously on top of all of that, you talk about the 13 points allowed in the last 3 games, Falcons being shut out.
The last loss, though, was against the Cowboys, and it went to overtime.
And that was a game in which everyone was like, well, the Cowboys should handle the Patriots fairly easily. You know, the Cowboys were pretty heavy favorites going into that game, even though it was on the road. And like you said, it was kind of a surprise to everybody. And I don't think people really remember. A lot of people remember how that game ended. That game started with the Patriots up 14-0 on top of the Cowboys.
Kind of a weird thing. The Patriots are 7-4
or 10-0. I beg your pardon.
Right. The Patriots are 7-4. They're tied for first place now with the Buffalo Bills, who have played 2 fewer games. They're 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. But somebody's got to come out of the AFC, and I'm taking a look at it, and it's anybody's ball game. The Bills can turn it up, right? If Josh Allen starts playing better, if they finally start getting a running game, defensively they're fine. The Patriots defensively are amazing. But can they have a young quarterback lead them to the promised land? That's kind of the question there. The Ravens, you never know. Lamar Jackson can catch fire, but then again, sometimes when it gets colder, it's harder for him to run, harder for him to do certain things. The Steelers are awful. I'm not going to talk about them. The Titans, though, 8-2. But again, no
Derrick Henry. So it's kind of like, are they really 8-2?
Yeah, like, paper tiger. Yeah. Smoke and mirrors, that team.
Right. But here, going back to the Patriots, history repeats itself. And does this not kind of give you those vibes of when Tom Brady had to take over for Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Does that kind of not give you the same? I know they didn't have a change at quarterback, but they have a rookie at quarterback where no one really knows, or not that they didn't know who he was, but didn't necessarily believe in him in terms of leading a team like this, at least not this early on in his career.
And early on, Brady wasn't winning the games for you. He was not messing up.
He was not losing the games for you. And he was letting the defense and the coaching win the games.
He was managing the game in a very positive way. I know a lot of times people hear the word managed quarterback and they think that, it's Trent Dilfer. No, He was a higher level than that. And then he became the superstar that he is. But taking a look at the AFC West, only 1 game separates all 4 teams: Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. They're all within 1 game. That's why I think that this game coming up against the Cowboys, between the Chiefs and the Cowboys, means more to the Chiefs than it does the Cowboys, because this can actually propel them, get some separation in the AFC West. It would be a confidence booster big time for that team because they struggled early on. Now they're playing very well. Mahomes had 5 touchdown passes last week. But we're going to be watching this game from our couches on Sunday at 3:25. We are all going to do that, except for one person here.
Yeah.
Tanner Carlson will be at Arrowhead for this game.
Yeah.
How excited are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm stoked. And So be looking for me. I'm going to be about on the 20-yard line behind the Cowboys bench, about 3 rows up. So,
nice.
Yeah, these tickets were won. I did not, trust me, I don't make bank to afford those tickets, but these tickets were won by a buddy of mine who lives in Kansas City, and he was kind enough to invite me to this game. And so we're going to be tailgating, smoking ribs, and that will be the fun part. And then the nerve-wracking part of where I'm not going to be able to really enjoy myself until there is a decisive lead for the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully by halftime, I'm hoping it's that kind of game. The Chiefs are odd because they're coming off of a win against a Raiders team who is just falling apart between their head coach, between the tragedy with Henry Ruggs and that whole debacle. And that Raiders team going into that Chiefs game had just lost to the New York Giants. And then they go in primetime and they get completely embarrassed by the Chiefs. And everyone's saying that the Chiefs are back. I don't know if they're back as much as it is just the Raiders falling apart. It could be a little bit of both. It could have been a perfect storm, and it could have been exactly what the Chiefs needed to get their swagger back and getting going into this game. In terms of who it means more for, I like what you mean when it comes to this particular season. At this point in the season, yes, it does mean more for the Chiefs. I think in terms of the long term, and the Cowboys really believing that, or at least I know the Cowboys believe that they're legit contenders, but looking at what the Chiefs have done the last 2 years, winning the Super Bowl, being in the Super Bowl, AFC champions, and the Cowboys can use this as, all right, if you want to beat the best, you have to be the best. Or if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
I get that.
And so I think it's kind of more of a mental hurdle and a mental accomplishment more so than it is going to show up in the standings in terms of playoff seeding and things like that.
This is the bad part of only having one team getting the bye. It used to be 6 teams make the playoffs. It used to be 2 of those teams in each conference got a bye. And right now, the Cowboys would be in position in most years to, secure a bye, and it'd be not that big of a deal if they lost 1 or 2 games along the way.
Right.
But now there's 7 playoff teams. Only one team gets a bye. Also, that my New Orleans Saints can get that 7th seed for the rights to lose to the Cowboys in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's kind of interesting, this game, because if you were to tell me that you think the Cowboys are going to win, I can believe you, because they're a very good team, one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFL. If you're going to tell me that the Chiefs are going to win, I would believe you too, because Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They've been to the Super Bowl back-to-back years. They know how to win. They're healthier now than they were last year. I don't know why they were in a funk earlier in the season, but they seem to be getting a little bit out of it. And now having some confidence, maybe a little bit of momentum coming into this game. Because again, we talked about how Dak got some additional confidence when they were losing to the Broncos 30-0. They left him out there to kind of get some reps in and get a win before the loss happened. Right?
Yeah.
Mahomes getting 5 touchdowns the week before. Do you think that maybe he's confident coming into this game?
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe he's confident now that Whataburger is in Kansas City? He owns it.
Yeah.
He's having a big week. But man, I think that this is going to come down to the 4th quarter, and I don't know who's going to win, but I would tend to think, if I had to bet on it, by the way, it's a 2.5 point spread. The Chiefs are favored by 2.5.
Did that surprise you? I was a little surprised to hear that the Chiefs were favored going into this game.
I'm not surprised. They've been in the Super Bowl twice, and they're home, and they're coming off a big win. Not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the over-under, 55.5. I'm sorry, man. This is going to be a track meet.
I was about to say, does that seem a little low?
That's really
seems
low.
A little low. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think it's going to, of course, the NFL is that type of ugly stepsister that is, as soon as you think it's going to be a high scoring run and gun track meet, it's typically going to be like 17-13 will be the final. Like that's typically just how that works. I'm hoping it's a track meet. I think, whenever I saw what the Chiefs did to Las Vegas and the way the Cowboys took care of business following that loss against Atlanta, and by the time Sunday was over, I texted my buddy. I said, dude, I got to get to this game. I don't care if I'm just tailgating. I go watch a game at the bar. I got to get to this game somehow, some way, because I knew he was going to it. And then he was like, oh, by the way, we got an extra ticket. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, then I'm there. And so I just had I have this gut feeling that you're right when you say this is going to be probably a game of the year kind of a thing. I think I hope we look back at this game and it's going to be similar to the Chiefs-Rams, 2019, 2018, whatever that year was. And it was just back and forth. And it was 5 touchdown passes for Mahomes, 6 touchdown passes for Goff. It's weird saying that. But I do think it's going to be that type of entertainment value. So like you said, going into this segment, if you're a Cowboys fan, this is going to be a great game. If you're not a Cowboys fan and you're a Chiefs fan, it's going to be great. If you're not a fan of either one of these two teams and you just like watching fun football, this is going to be a great game to watch.
The interesting thing about all this for Cowboy fans, because they ride a roller coaster of emotions. You know, the sky is falling one day.
Ridiculous.
They're super confident another day. But can you imagine if the Chiefs win a close game and we look back and the Cowboys would have lost 2 out of 3? And it happens, man. You know, I mean, you know, the Bucs have lost 2 games in a row and it happens, but it's just a roller coaster of emotions this team has, simply because it's been so long since the Cowboys have had any glory. It's been so long since they've been to a title game, an NFC title game, so long since they've been to the Super Bowl. I will tell you this much. When the Cowboys eventually win the Super Bowl, whether it's this upcoming February or it's 2 years from now or 10 years from now, man, the parades and the partying going on is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I told my wife already, I'm spending every bit of life savings that we have for a ticket. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if we're in debt. I don't care if I need to go to the bank and get a loan. I'm going to use whatever money I can scrounge up and find and get to that game. Even if I'm where Jordan Love's mom was sitting at Arrowhead, I don't care where I'm at. That's where I'm going to be. I have to be there.
I get that. That's why I told my wife in 2014 when the Spurs were in the finals that I had to spend money from savings to go, because this may never happen again in my lifetime.
And Cowboy fans should know that best. I mean, the last time they went to a Super Bowl and played in a Super Bowl, I was a couple of months old. That's how long it's been.
The last time that happened, NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were not out yet. But when we come back later on, around 1:30, we're going to be talking about boy bands. Controversial topics. Some people like talking about silly pop culture stuff, and others say, no, let's make it more serious. Let's talk about rock bands. Nah, man, we can do that sometime. But later on, around 1:30, we'll be talking about boy bands. Who is the worst of these 4? Okay, we're going to be talking about Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, New Edition. I personally like Color Me Bad, but that's a different story for a different time, man. But later on, coming up next, though, we're going to be talking about Pop-A-Shot. We finally have a Pop-A-Shot champion within the San Antonio Sports Star between Minix, Rudy J, myself, and Quinn Hudson. Someone's already calling this a fix. We'll be talking about that.
The fix is in.
And at 1 o'clock in about 10 minutes or so, UTSA football, man. Pack the dome. Big game against UAB coming up this weekend. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 115-90. Karl Anthony Towns scored 25 points and grabbed 12 rebounds to send the Spurs to their 4th loss in a row. The Austin Spurs were victorious over Mexico City, 99-91. Spurs assignment player Josh Primo finished with 11 points, 4 blocks, and 2 steals. The UTSA Roadrunners host the UAB Blazers tomorrow for a chance to secure the West Division Championship in Conference USA. Kickoff is at 2:30. Be sure to pack the dome. And tonight, the Dallas Mavericks play against the Phoenix Suns at 9. Luka Doncic is expected to miss his 2nd game in a row as he recovers from a left ankle sprain. The team has listed the star Slovenian as day-to-day. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Welcome to a place where everyone deserves to be better protected, where technology has your back, where you can have better protection and keep more money in your pocket, where you can have protection for your car, your home, your phone, and even your digital identity. Welcome to a place where your entire life can be better protected. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing a medical problem of any kind, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find medical care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health comes to you. That's right. Receive high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort of your own home when you need it. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to your home, able to treat common to complex illnesses and injuries. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com now to learn more and download the app so you're always just the touch of a button away from the quality health care you need. Dispatch Health is affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare. It's true, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home, all for an affordable price. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay comfortable, and let Dispatch Health come to you. Go to dispatchhealth.com and say hello to the modern-day house call. That's dispatchhealth.com. Go to dispatchhealth.com.
It's that time of year again when Smoky Mo's Barbecue is gearing up to smoke Thanksgiving turkeys for our neighbors in the San Antonio area. Each turkey will be made using our secret rub and smoked to perfection in-house. You can buy it solo or with our feast that includes sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, and a delicious pumpkin pie from Tootie Pies. Pre-order at SmokyMo'sBarbecue.com or by calling your store. Don't dawdle. We sell out every year. Happy Smoked Turkey Day, y'all, from Smoky Mo's Barbecue.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I've only got 10 seconds, so here's my plug. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
James Pledger playing the hits today. Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com. So there was a big contest last night at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar.
Yeah, congrats, Tanner.
Thank you.
No. Okay. Tanner Carlson, for those of y'all who are just joining in, is our Rock the Mic 6 champ. You've been dubbed the Hex.
The Hex.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All the people who showed up there, I mean, they were interested in who was going to win Rock the Mic, but the real competition
that took place
happened afterwards, which was the Papa Shot contest between myself, Jason Minix, Quinn Hudson, and Rudy J. Rob Thompson, a no-show. Rob Thompson just bailed. He says, I got to get the heck out of here. It's going to be an early start to the day. So a lot of people were rooting for him to win, but he bailed and he forgot about it. But we had the contest, and Pledger thinks the fix is in because...
Oh, there's no thing.
Okay, get it off your chest.
Oh, there's... What's to get off my chest? I was the odds-on favorite via the Twitter poll. I am the odds-on favorite as the most athletic person in SA Sports Star, and I'm awesome at Papa Shot. And y'all are like, yeah, we're going to hold this competition when Pledge is working. Oh, Pledge, you're getting off work? Cool. Meet us at Dad's Karaoke. Oh, you're already at Dad's Karaoke? Hold on. We got to finish up at Slackers where we told you we were leaving.
Okay, so...
Oh, Pledge is my butt. Pledge is my butt.
You know, he makes a decent argument. Let's hear the rebuttal.
Okay, so Pledger's out here. First of all, we can't wait for you all night long, man. That's just the thing.
That is lies.
That is the thing. And by the time you showed up, everyone had already left, except for only me and Minix were the only ones still there. So here's the thing. We had that contest. That Papa Shot at Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar right behind North Star Mall on West Rector is no joke. It's 100 seconds long. Oh. By the end of it, your arms are falling off.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
So maybe Pledger has a point because he, quote, says, I am the most athletic person on San Antonio Sports Star, as though you need athleticism to play Papa Shot.
Have you seen it?
Says the guy who is just complaining about his arm hurting at the end of the game.
Have y'all seen those kids though? Like some of these kids.
How are you going to work that out? That form? I mean, come on, man.
Some of these kids that are actually really good at Papa Shot, they have the weird and they're like,
and that's the point. It's about
they're not
getting
athletic.
shots up.
They're not athletic. They're like geeks.
The winner, by the way, was Rudy J.
He go underhand?
No, he shot and he was great. I mean, Rudy J. The second place was Quinn Hudson. Quinn had 99 points. Rudy J had 116. I came in third with like 83 or 84, and Jason Minix came in fourth.
Was it static? Was it moving? Did it go from 2 to 3?
It was static, but you got 3 points for the final 15 seconds. And at that point, my arms were noodles. At that point, my arm was like Trevor Siemian. At that point,
see, I'm just upset with you. I'm very upset with you that you couldn't wait. And this is the worst part of it. Not only could they not wait, they told me to meet them somewhere else, only to, when I arrive, have them still be at Slackers to where we could have settled this.
Pledger, you leaving the office never happens when you say it's going to happen. You have all the good intentions of the world in the world. What needs to be done is you need to call us when you're like 10 minutes away time. Because if we had gone there and waited for you for 45 minutes, that would
one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm leaving now, but you're getting out of bed and about to shower and then leaving.
I'm guilty of that all the time.
Oh, I'm the worst at that. But at the same time, you act like y'all were in a place where, we're just going to get bored waiting on you to show. You were at a bar in which we went to another bar.
All right. Well, let's give Pledger some time to kind of settle down a little bit.
No.
This
will not stand.
Find some zen. Breathe in, breathe out, like that Bush song. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Just calm down, settle. We have another hour. We have to get through another hour of halftime.
Pop shot in that hour.
I give up. Hey, when we come back, let's talk UTSA football. Big game against UAB this weekend. There is a bowl that's in town. Checking them out, scouting UTSA to see if they want to be invited to this game. And we're also talking about the Spurs. Who should they draft? I know the Spurs have had a bad season, but what position should they be looking at? Because I'm already falling in love with certain players out there. I fell in love with Devin Vassell a couple of years ago. Now I find myself watching college basketball all over again. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportstar.com. Can you pick the perfect matchups all season long? If so, you could win $50,000. Weekly winners score gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue and the Mellow Mushroom. For official contest rules and to play, visit sasportstar.com. Must be at least 21 years old to play this nationwide contest. One winner will be selected at the end of the season. The Pro Football Challenge from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
Do you love your garage? Can you get your cars and the kids' bikes in? Jimenez here for Garageization, your garage storage solution. With a variety of shelving, overhead racks, slat walls, and closed cabinet options, Garageization can make your garage functional for the entire family. Call 210-664-4494 and have them give you a free customized plan for your family's needs. For over a decade, Garageization has helped people love their garage. Learn more online at garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez.
Halftime.
Happy Friday. Hour number 2 of Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250. 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com. Roadrunners fans, big game at the Alamo Dome. Meet. Roadrunners taking on UAB tomorrow afternoon.
Can you say that again?
Meet. I like doing the cartoon version.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do the meet. That's weird. That's weird. Meet.
You know, I showed my daughter who's 9 years old, Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons the other day for the first time ever. She loved it.
It never goes out of style.
Absolutely.
It never gets old.
She was like, where does this coyote get all this TNT, Dad? I was like, I don't know.
Acme. It says it right there. It's product placement all over the place.
It gets delivered. Amazon goes to the desert.
Yeah. See, I think if they did Looney Tunes now, it wouldn't be Acme. It would probably be Amazon.
You know what's funny about Roadrunners though? I lived in Helotes for a while, and there's Roadrunners out there, and they're tiny ones.
They're little baby one. They're like puny. They're not big, giant, huge, big birds like on the cartoon.
Well, no, those do exist.
Really?
Okay, so quick story. The ones in my neighborhood back in Helotes back in the day were probably about 6 inches in height. Right? They'd run down the street. They were actual Roadrunners. They do exist. It's a funny looking bird. I was in a golf scramble out in Arizona about 12 13 years ago, and my friend Steve invited me out there, and there were some Roadrunners out in Arizona that were massive. They were all over the golf course. We're talking about 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall, and they go after rattlesnakes out there.
Pledge, find a big one. That's not a cartoon.
They go after rattlesnakes and other snakes here too.
Right, but it's a big difference between like a garden snake and this massive python looking thing that they get out in the desert over there in Arizona. They look a lot different over there. They look vicious over there. So
see, I've only seen the small ones that just actually run on the road, and they're like 6 inches tall. Those are the only ones I've ever seen.
And those look cute. But
they're adorable.
But the ones that I see on the Southwest or American Southwest, it's just so ugly. So ugly, like fierce. Like I do not want to be around those birds.
Well, that's probably the Roadrunners that are playing at the Alamo Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Alamo Dome.
Yes, the ones from Helotes shut up against Southern Miss.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That's true. Yeah.
So kind of weird because against Southern Miss, UTSA was a 33-point favorite.
He's lying.
They're only a 5-point favorite this week against UAB. A really, really good program. UAB has beaten UTSA 4 out of 5 times. 7-3 record. They played Georgia earlier this year, which is kind of interesting. Great photo of a Roadrunner there that Pledge is showing us. They're massive, but it's a big game. But what's interesting is that we got to pack the dome. Over 30,000 people.
The reason it's massive, it's a statue apparently.
Well, because you push back.
Well, that one in particular.
That one's massive. Look how much bigger it is than these people.
Pleasure. I'm trying to do a radio show and you're sending me Google images, man. And all I can see is like 1/2 of the page. All right.
It is a giant statue of this thing's like 20 feet tall, like a dinosaur.
This is almost as bad as with
this is the one he saw.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere. Like it wasn't moving, but it was massive.
It was just completely dead still with a menacing glance. It was just staring me down the whole time.
The Roadrunner statue that he's showing me is probably about 20 feet tall, but this is almost as embarrassing as when the post office issued out stamps of the Statue of Liberty, and you take a look at it, and it's actually a photo of the Statue of Liberty from New York, in Vegas, the casino.
Yeah, like the Eiffel Tower, but it's the Vegas Eiffel
Tower.
Tower. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, so pack the dome. More than 30,000 fans are expected because, hey, there were 30,000 last game. Why not build on top of that? A bigger game. UTSA wins this game. We get to host Conference USA's title game. Big deal. But of the 30,000 people who are expected to be there are officials from the Independence Bowl. So Roadrunner fans, I hope you like jambalaya. I hope you like Creole cuisine, red beans and rice, because that game is played in Shreveport, Louisiana. And if this happens, it would most likely be a UTSA versus BYU matchup. Both teams in the top 15. I'd be all about it for more reasons than one.
That'd be a huge bowl. I mean, that would be ginormous. And obviously, this is the best UTSA team that we have had here in San Antonio. But this is the biggest game. And then guess what? After this game, if you win this one, that's the biggest game. And then the one after that that's the biggest game. And so you got a lot of big games coming up for the UTSA Roadrunners.
Yeah, Rob Thompson and I were talking about this last night because it's one of those things where you get past this mountain right here because UAB is no joke. Mm-hmm. They play really good football. Think about it this way. You get 3 points on a spread if you're just the home team.
Mm-hmm.
If you're favored by 5.5, that means on a neutral field, Vegas thinks that it's so close that it would be about a 2.5 point spread. That's how good of a UAB team this is. And they historically beat UTSA to the point where I'm getting a little bit worried, right? But
have you seen the spread on this? What
5.5?
It's 5.5.
It's 5.5. I'm excited about this game, but the interesting thing is, let's say UTSA wins this game, goes 11-0. The next game is North Texas. North Texas has a losing record, but it's on the road, so you never know what could happen. You don't know what the weather conditions are going to be like. But let's say that that's a win. The Conference USA Championship game would be against Western Kentucky, and UTSA played them early this year, won on the road 52-46. I was with pleasure watching that game at the Roo Pub. 52-46. They would run it back against them. Going undefeated is so difficult.
Yeah.
There's so many things in the way. And man, these 3 games here really are the most important games that this team this program has ever had.
Even the North Texas game. I mean, it's one of those things where the next game becomes the biggest game, and it's the biggest prize. And that is the pressure of going undefeated.
Mhm.
That's why it is so difficult to go undefeated, because once you get to this point in the season, when you're one of 3 teams in the entire country that has this record at this level of football, that next game is that much better. I mean, you don't think the Georgia Bulldogs have a ton of pressure now from here on out? I mean, the Georgia Bulldogs are facing the same sort of pressure on a different scale, but it's still that pressure mounting up on those players and coaches. And if you want to be at a point in time where you're this type of program and you can get used to this feeling, these are the games you have to win. These are the games you're going to have to prevail against. And these are the games and the stretches of the next best game, the next biggest game coming up. These are the games that the stretch of games you're going to have to face if you're going to become this football program that we all want to see UTSA at.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would love for SMU to win this weekend and create chaos and beat Cincinnati. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, who's going to the Fiesta Bowl? Is it Cincinnati or is it UTSA?
Right.
That would be a great thing, a great chaos to happen. But if it ends up being the Independence Bowl, I'd be happy with that. It's a great bowl. It's a Saturday afternoon game on ABC at 2:30 on December 18th. It's one of the first bowls being played.
Mm-hmm.
And BYU has already accepted that bowl, provided that they're not in the playoff. If they're in the playoff, they go to the playoffs. But if they're not in the playoffs, they've already said we've committed ourselves to.
And they're not making the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but let's say they all keep on winning. You could have a matchup between 2 top 12 teams.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. But there's so much going on. I hope that last week's game against Southern Miss woke up the team, because
you sometimes need to get punched in the mouth.
The Cowboys happened with the Broncos
with the Broncos. Sometimes you need to get punched in the mouth. Last year, you look at the Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went into New Orleans and got swept 38-3, I believe that score was, and that was to the Super Bowl champions. Sometimes you need a wake-up call. Sometimes you need to get slapped around a little bit, and the UTSA Roadrunners are lucky enough that they come in on top of that game.
Right. That was a tough game, man, because it was ugly. There was no consistency, and I don't know if it was overconfidence. I don't know, but the thing is, though, you have to understand, UTSA has a target on their backs now.
That was the point I was about to make. I mean, that is exactly, once you get to this spot and you're undefeated and you're the only ranked team in your conference, or you're the top team in your conference and you're one of 3 teams that's undefeated, and every single time these teams in your conference on your schedule are looking on Twitter and it says 3 remaining undefeated teams, and it's Georgia, Cincinnati, and then there's UTSA, that puts a very large target on your back. I'm so glad you made that point, because that's where I was going with that.
You know, this UAB team, 7-3, they played earlier this season against Georgia. Thought that was kind of interesting. They've lost to Baylor and BYU, so they've lost to good programs out there. UTSA, I hope they wake up this game. I hope they come out firing, because this UAB team is very, 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 very tough. And one of the things about having that target on your back is that this is the Super Bowl. This is the big game for every team that you play. Because if you can be the one that upsets the undefeated team, that 10-0 team, that 15th ranked in the AP, that 22 rank in the CFP, that's a big deal. And I think that's why these games are going to be closer than what most people think. This UAB game, I think, is going to go down to the fourth quarter as well. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but man, Frank Harris is coming back next year. I just want to see them, and this is a miracle season for them. And then next year, so excited. They got Houston, they got Army, and they go to Austin to play UT, Which, by the way,
I have screenshotted your tweet. I'm using that as a receipt next year because I know you know what tweet you're talking about.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and I've screenshot because I'm a Longhorn fan, so I've screenshotted that. And I said, "All right, I've got receipts."
I pinned it, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
You're not hiding it. You're not hiding it.
So the funny thing is you know how
it's gonna be deleted the day after.
Yeah.
What tweet are you talking about?
UT beating UTSA next year. Like facilities win games.
Yeah.
That's the hot take that Pledger makes that I will not accept.
I did not say facilities win games.
No. Okay. I heard you say something to that effect, but I saw a meme the other day that made me laugh because you know how UTSA on some sites like CBS Sportsline, they're considered not UTSA, they're Texas SA or Texas San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I saw a meme that says, I cannot wait for next September when UTSA beats Texas Austin.
Texas of Austin. UT of A. Yeah.
Let's get some headlines in. Here's Pledger with the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
We'll start things off with baseball as Tigers manager A.J. Hinch has met with Astros free agent shortstop Carlos Correa for lunch in Houston yesterday. Do you see Correa joining his former manager in Detroit?
No, I don't. I see Correa re-signing, but he has to do this, though. He has to show that he's wanted by other teams. Now, obviously, other teams would want him. But the fact of the matter is he needs to have the price bid up. He's going to get that $300 because baseball has stupid money.
And I think there needs to be a cap. I think at some point they're going to have to instill some sort of cap because you're going to get it's just going to become ridiculous. And then you're going to get stuck in these contracts in which these players are not living up to those contracts and you're just paying them out forever. But yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. I don't necessarily think that it's unrealistic to see him go to Detroit with Hinch, though. I could definitely see that. Mm-hmm. And I could definitely see the way the Houston Astros have obviously been to the World Series, but they've been let down the last couple of times. I could see him just wanting a new scenery. I could see that. I don't think it's completely unrealistic.
Headline 1.
And guys, if Correa's worth 10 years, $40, $50 million, which is what he's angling for, what in the heck will new AL unanimous MVP Shohei Ohtani be worth as the two-way superstar beat out Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Marcus Semien, hitting 46 home runs, 25 stolen bases, going 9-2 in 23 starts with a 3.18 ERA and 156 strikeouts this year.
Okay, you know I'm not a big baseball fan anymore, but I will say this. I will watch this guy.
Yeah.
This is something that is historic. This guy is worth double what Correa's worth because it's amazing. You're getting two superstars in one. You're getting a star pitcher and you're getting an MVP caliber hitter. It's incredible.
Is he worth more than Trout?
Yes.
Yeah. He's worth more than any baseball player who's probably ever played the game.
Now, my question is, does the pitching stats play a role in the MVP award, or is that separate where it's only going to be considered as part of the Cy Young?
All stats told, Ohtani was worth 9.1 wins above replacement, according to Baseball Reference, which was far and away more than anybody else in the sport.
And when he pitches, that stadium is sold out. You need to get those tickets days and days in advance. You can't just show up in Anaheim to watch him pitch. It's an amazing thing. I remember back in the day, back in the late 80s, begging my dad to take me to baseball games, and he took me to go see Barry Bonds at Dodger Stadium when he played for the Pirates. I just knew at that time that was going to be a great player, and he was already in his prime. Ohtani is somebody that I'm going to want to watch simply because even though I'm not as big of a baseball fan anymore, I know that's history. That's history in the making.
And we talked earlier about all-time greats changing the game. What did you do to put your fingerprint on this game? He is a generational talent that is going to change the way this game is played. Managers and scouts all over the world are going to be looking for guys who can pitch, who can hit, who can run, and who do maybe not things as well as Ohtani can do, but things that have similar skill sets.
Do you buy the story that Ohtani does not take batting practice?
Oh, yeah. There's some guys that are just natural. I believe it.
And here's the thing. I don't think it's that hard to find, because if you look throughout high school baseball, usually the best athlete, the guy that plays shortstop when he's not pitching, is the pitcher. And he's the best hitter. He's the best player on the team. He just happens to also be the pitcher and then focuses that craft. I don't know if they're going to stop doing that. Quick, before we move on to the next headline. We said Correa is looking for 10 years, over 340, what Lindor made last year. When it's Ohtani's turn, I just want to gather
600.
I mean, I don't know if that number is realistic in my head for a player to make that amount of money, but yeah, it's got to be upwards of maybe even over 600. I mean, where is he even at in his first? This is his first contract, right? Like,
I believe so.
1 year into his first contract.
No, I mean, it's
how does
it's a couple years because he was bought via his rights were purchased from Japan.
He's a 2-year, $8.5 million deal right now.
Yeah. Okay, so his time is coming up here fairly shortly. So I'm not going to say the market's going to get crazy out of hand by the time his time is up. So yeah, I think 600 is probably in the ballpark.
That is some scratch.
He will be the highest paid athlete of all time.
According to Sports Illustrated, Ohtani is eligible for arbitration in 2022 and eligible for free agency in 23.
Yeah.
That's going to be
the market
fun.
doesn't have a whole lot of time to just get crazy out of hand by the time his contract is up, but that doesn't mean that his contract isn't going to be crazy.
But the dude's a unicorn, so he sets his own thing.
Right.
Yeah. And it's going to be fun to watch him in New
York.
His
stat sheet is so long. Oh my gosh, he's going to go to the Yankees, isn't he? Yeah, it's the only team that can afford him.
Basically.
Headline 0.
Oh, finally, in some football headlines, the Browns have activated Nick Chubb off the COVID-19 list today, and the Eagles have signed Dallas Goedert to a 4-year, $59 million contract extension. The deal includes $35 million in guaranteed money.
Kind of high for Goddard. I like him. I know they got rid of Zach Ertz.
And they kind of had to because of that. Yeah.
Right. But the thing is that Goddard is a good player, but I don't know if it's 4 years, $59 million good. But I'm also glad to see Nick Chubb back. For those of you who have him in fantasy, he's been a wreck. But, I like to see these weapons come back for the Browns. I hold a little bit of stock left in Baker Mayfield. Not as much. I had sold some of it, but I hold a little bit.
I'm not out nearly as much as most people are on Baker because I talk about, and I know this conversation went from Chubb to Baker, and that's just how the natural conversation when you talk about the Browns goes. But when it comes to the Browns, look at their history. Look, you going to go through 23 quarterbacks in 10 years again? Or are you going to just finally be settled with the guy who took you to the second round of the playoffs, nearly was a fourth down conversion by Chad Henne away from taking you to the AFC Championship?
Agreed.
That's the 411 and a 210.
The San Antonio Spurs now have the 4th worst record in the NBA, falling to 4-11 yesterday. Got spanked by the Minnesota Timberwolves by 25 points. It is now time to start looking at the NBA draft, boys and girls.
Already? That's very early on in the season.
They ain't going to have a winning season. I don't even think they're going to have enough wins to get Pop's record, man. It's
now time?
They're on track. The Spurs are on track for 21 wins.
I think we're a couple years back on the whole tank train. I would have started the tanking a couple years ago.
Thank you. I agree with you on that. Aside from you being a Mavericks fan, I'm okay with that.
I'm not saying that as a Mavericks fan. You can't be stuck middle of the road time after time after time because the NBA draft works so differently than the NFL draft, where there's talent. You can find talent 3rd, 4th round of the draft in the NFL, whereas in the NBA, you've got your superstars, 1, 2, maybe 3, and then really from 3 to about 6 or 7. You've got those 2nd round caliber guys that would be in the NFL 2nd rounders. And then really after that, it's kind of just a crapshoot. You're going based on potential. You're going based on their measurements, strictly measurements, and how they would respond in the NBA in terms of the analytics behind those measurements and how other players have performed. And that's what you're banking on. So when you get stuck at 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth, you're just kind of throwing dust in the wind. You're just trying to find something.
Yeah, you get the side dish. You don't get the main meal. You don't get the main course.
And people think a lottery pick is great. Only if it's a top 5 pick, it's great.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, so NBA fans, I know that you're going to come at me with Kawhi Leonard was the 15th pick. You're going to come at me that Giannis was a 15th pick and that Jimmy Butler, I believe, was like 31.
Yeah, he's like 20-something. Yeah.
And, Tony Parker was 29 and Manu was in the 50s and Jokic was in the 30s and so was Draymond Green. I get it. Steph Curry, I think, was 7.
I can't allow you to put Jokic in that same conversation of those guys.
Yes.
Sorry. I was thinking another player. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Jokic is in that conversation. I'm sorry.
But the point I'm trying to make is that, yes, it is possible to get a good player at 10 and beyond. The Spurs got one last year. 1 year ago, yesterday was the anniversary for 1 year that the Spurs drafted Devin Vassell. And we rejoiced. There was happiness at the San Antonio Sports Star because James Pledger and I were all about Devin Vassell when he played at Florida State. We watched so much Florida State basketball because we identified him and said, that's the guy we want on the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we did not identify Joshua Primo. We'd only heard of him like 2 weeks before the draft. For the most part, he rose up the box. And it was one of those things where I didn't understand it. But when it was explained that he could be a top 5 or 6 pick this year and how young he was and all that stuff, I was like, fine, great.
Yeah.
A little bit of a project, but okay. He can shoot, right? Defensively, a little bit lost, but he can shoot.
Do you want, what was it, 11? Do you want your 11th overall pick in the G League when you draft him?
Yeah, I get that. I'm conflicted. I want him to play 10 to 12 minutes a game on the varsity squad. I do.
Yeah.
But I hope they bring him up around January or February because he is young. He should have been in high school last year.
Sorry, those are Brent Forbes minutes.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's no room for him here. Derek White's 0 for 15 must continue.
Don't get me started. That's the highest paid player on the Spurs roster. Put some respect on that name. But this has me now thinking about the lottery because Spurs fans, come on, man. We're 4-11. I've been driving this train for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This tank train.
I feel like it's getting more passengers. On board. I feel like there's more passengers on board than there was even at the beginning of this season.
But there's some names out there, Paolo Banchero and Chet Holmgren are the two that are considered to be like the top tier of those in the draft available. And then there's Jabari Smith, Jalen Duren, Patrick Baldwin Jr., who I think I'm kind of fascinated by. And there's AJ Griffin, Jaden Ivey. There's a lot of interesting names out here, and I have already found myself watching college basketball, watching G League games, looking at highlights, YouTubing this, that, and the other. And I'd be happy if Banchero or Holmgren are there because both of them are unicorns.
Well, you're going to have to get Holmgren with number 1 or number 2. I don't believe he's going to drop even past number 2, to be honest with you. And anybody who is going to start watching Gonzaga basketball, which you should, Chet Holmgren is not going to be the guy that you're going to see and be like, this guy's going to be the number 1 overall pick because the system that they play in, it's going to go through Drew Timme. It just is. Like, he's going to be the go-to guy, and then their wings are going to shoot threes. Chet Holmgren isn't going to be that superstar until they start relying on him a little bit more. Because him against Texas, he didn't really do anything against Texas, but they didn't need him to do anything against Texas.
Now, I'd like for Pledger to describe him because I'll describe him like size-wise. He's 7 foot, 195 pounds, very thin guy.
He needs to put on a lot of weight.
But describe Chet Holmgren's play, and he's technically a center in theory.
Okay, you can call him that. He's not. You came in this morning and you said, "Sell me on Chet Holmgren." And you can't think of him as a center. He's not a center. He is a 7-footer with handles. He is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He is what Kristaps Porzingis was supposed to be in the NBA. He is a guy that can do it from the outside. He can handle the ball. He's got mad handles. He crossed up Steph at his own camp when he was 16 years old. I mean, the guy has a skill set that is unheard of with someone with his size. Plus, he's not going to bang down low. So you can't think of him as a center. You have to think of him as like a 3 or a stretch 4. Like, he's not going to be a banger guy. His game, when it gets down towards the paint defensively, he's not going to beat you, but he's going to beat you to the spot. He's very very smart in terms of he had 7 blocks in his first game.
Is that going to get frustrating? Have a 7-footer that can't rebound or be down low though?
That's interesting because you mentioned Kevin Durant. Durant doesn't get a lot of rebounds necessarily because he hangs out at the 3-point line. But let me ask you this, Pledge. Between the two, Spurs have a number 1 pick. Let's just say Fantasy World happens, and it's happened before. Spurs got David Robinson. Spurs got Tim Duncan. If you had to choose between Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero, which one would you want? Because I would want Banchero.
You're making me choose between, like, I imagine for you, like, pick your favorite kid. I imagine that's what this is, because this is an awfully tough decision. I would probably take Banchero just because his name's awesome, Paolo Banchero. Yeah. I mean,
does that not fit within the San Antonio culture?
Also,
Alley-oop, primo de Banchero.
Exactly. Like, it's fantastic.
It would just be a Spanish broadcast.
Yeah. The Spurs would change to the Fiesta Unis all the time.
Yeah. The only thing that you worry about with Chet is his slim. It's the same thing you worried about with Kevin Durant. His slim nature. Could he handle the physicality of the NBA game? And you've seen
body changes like an Anthony Davis, who have had that slender build, who have built upon them physically, and now has a NBA capable body. Giannis too.
Now, Paolo Banchero is a power forward for Duke. So if you're looking him up, again, it's Banchero, Banchero. With Duke, that guy has handles, man. That guy. I saw a Duke game against Kentucky.
They played, just this last week or so.
Within, I saw 3 plays, and I was like, okay, that's the guy. That's the guy. Yeah, that guy's a star. That guy is a,
and he doesn't need to work on his body. He's NBA ready.
He's that's why I think I would rather have Banchero. But right now, I'm on Tankathon, which is a great website, by the way, for those of you who want to simulate what the draft looks like. You can see all the players that are considered to be top tier in the upcoming draft. It's good times, man. Good times.
But think of the things you could do with a Chet. Like, that can't be done.
I get that. But I think for a traditionalist, I mean, because I look at Paolo Banchero and I see, I'm trying to figure out, like, I see like a more fluid Carmelo Anthony. I see just somebody out there. I know a lot of people are down on Carmelo. Maybe that's a bad, but it's
horrible.
It's just the way that he can score. Because whether you like him or not, Carmelo Anthony can score. He's an incredible scorer. But Paolo Banchero, the way that he handles the ball, he handles the ball like a guard. He has the body of a power forward, and he has the moves of a small forward. He is just,
and I think that we get so lost in the fancy footworks and the handles and the shooting from a big man. I got to see something defensively from a big man. Yeah. Now your guard can suffer on the defensive side of the ball. It's not going to bother me nearly as much as just getting bullied down low and not getting anything defensively and just being dominated down there.
I think one of those two guys right there, Spurs suddenly become relevant again.
Oh, 100%. Because that's the biggest problem right now for the Spurs is there's no superstar attracting national TV or national media. Mm-hmm. There's not a player on the Spurs right now that screams, we've got to market this guy. We got to get him on every TV station. There's just not that guy.
Yeah, I think Banchero is that guy. I think Holmgren will be just as good of a talent, but I think out of the two, Banchero is going to be the star.
Yeah.
But we are going to 2:00 here on the San Antonio Sports Star. You know, a couple of days ago, we gave some love to the ladies, gave some love to the Spice Girls because it's the 25-year anniversary of them coming out with Wannabe. But let's give the guys a chance here. Let's talk some boy bands, man. And let's kick one out, man. One that we don't think is up to par, man. I know it's a silly topic, but also we do a thing on Fridays called One's Got to Go. And this edition is going to be about Thanksgiving traditions. Let's kick out a Thanksgiving edition. And one of the ones that I have in mind might surprise you. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and on the go at sasportstar.com.
The college football tradition lives here with in-depth analysis and breakdowns from our team during the week of the Aggies, the Longhorns, UTSA, and more. Catch the gridiron action on Saturdays with live play-by-play from around the country. Bowl season. The college football playoff and the national championship comes to life right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The Marion Brighton Holiday Auction and Raffle is here again for the holidays. Shop for your holiday gifts and buy raffle tickets to win big now through December 12th. The raffle grand prize is your choice of a 2022 Chevy Silverado or Ram 1500 truck from Ancira. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center and the children in our community. Go to brightonsa.org to purchase and see official rules for complete details. That's brightonsa.org.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
So much to explore at Total Wine and More. Pinot Noirs, Grigios, Champagnes, and Chardonnays, plus more than 2,500 beers and bourbon barrel-aged. Tequila, rum, scotch, gin, vermouth, that's extra dry. Hard seltzers and single malts, so many for you to try.
Now offering delivery in select markets. See details at TotalWine.com/delivery. Drink responsibly, B21.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing a medical problem of any kind, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find medical care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health comes to you. That's right. Receive high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort of your own home when you need it. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to your home, able to treat common to complex illnesses and injuries. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com now to learn more and download the app so you're always just the touch of a button away from the quality health care you need. Dispatch Health is affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare. It's true, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home, all for an affordable price. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay comfortable, and let Dispatch Health come to you. Go to dispatchhealth.com and say hello to the modern-day house call. That's dispatchhealth.com. Go to dispatchhealth.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect fever is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen temporal scanner, proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This is Jerry Jones, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back. It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. All the go at sasportstar.com. Hope everyone's having a good Friday, end of the week. A lot of people going on vacation.
Yeah, a couple of people have already been like, hey, let me get that extra day off of work. So they just take this Friday off and then have all of next week off.
It's good times, man. My wife and I looked at each other the other day and we're like, oh my God, the kids are off of school the entire week. It used to be back in the day, Thursday and Friday, but now it's Friday. The whole week. My daughter Gabby, who's a freshman at LSU, is going to be coming home, so I'm really excited about that. So good times. Hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving coming up. Speaking of Thanksgiving, Pledger wants to talk about One Has to Go. And basically, One Has to Go is it's just something that you don't like about something. I mean, last week we talked about movies like Armageddon and Independence Day and remove one. But what is one Thanksgiving thing, tradition that you want to get rid of?
Are you asking me right now? This is my.
Or do you want to give me?
I didn't know if you guys went first and then I went, but I will go ahead and take the leap on this one and just say that I will take family politics out of Thanksgiving, like families talking about things that we know we're not going to agree on, and yet that one drunk uncle brings it up anyway.
Mm.
And not everybody in the room agrees on this one thing, but that one little guy. That one person is going to be the one that chimes something in, and then it's going to start a whole madness throughout the entire house.
Yeah, you get banished to the kids' table at that point.
Immediately. Yeah.
Pledge, what do you want to banish?
From Thanksgiving?
Yes. What tradition is gone?
I would like to banish green bean casserole. Not a fan. I know it's a huge Thanksgiving staple in a lot of houses. Not mine. Get out. GTFO.
Now, you were saying earlier that, off air, that some people don't like turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and they go after, they do ham instead or something different. I've seen some people do seafood.
I've done steak.
A little bit weird, but it's all about turkey.
I'm going to do steak this year.
There's two things I want to banish, okay? One's myself, and one is an ongoing joke that my wife has.
Oh, I thought you were banishing yourself.
Yeah, I thought you were just removing yourself from Thanksgiving. Like, I'm banishing myself from Thanksgiving.
I hate Thanksgiving.
I'm the one who does the politics. No, that's not me.
That guy.
He's like, guys, did you see what happened on the news?
Oh, yeah. So, we don't talk politics in this show. We try to steer away from it. But, it's going to be some heated debates going on other stations right now. But really? I would like to get rid of.
I didn't know the Cowboys were that big of a thing on other stations.
I would like to get rid of the Detroit Lions. Because they no longer need to be on Thanksgiving.
That's a good one. I like that.
And I'm also not a big fan of Black Friday, but still that's another thing. But my wife has said a joke years ago, and I always remind her about it. She doesn't like it when you say grace 1 minute before eating. She says, "Can we say grace like 20 or 30 minutes before? Because the food gets cold."
Okay.
The food gets cold. So it's just one of those things where she's like, can't we just bless the hands that are currently preparing this food?
Y'all make your plate and then you say grace after you've made your plate.
Right.
Is that
or even if it's not, even if it's just staying warm.
Okay. Yeah. Also, so that's what we have it all laid out. Everyone's about to go get their plates and we huddle up and say grace. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk some pop culture, man. Some boy bands. Now, we talked about the Spice Girls earlier this week. Who was your favorite Spice Girl?
I'd probably have to go Posh. It's just the most popular one, and she was kind of the leader, it seemed like. But I mean, I don't think she was the best looking one. It just was Posh was the most notable one.
Gotcha. You can always tell what somebody is like by their celebrity crush growing up. Who was your celebrity crush?
Oh gosh, that's tough. Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Good man.
Was it?
I'm liking this guy. We picked the right Rock the Bike champ.
It's creepy because I've recently watched. I recently watched Boy Meets World as an adult, and I'm still like, dude, 14-year-old, 15-year-old Topanga's hot, and that's not okay to even say.
All right, let's get the hook. Let's get the hook.
But I'm like,
you had a good run.
Yeah, I know.
The yellow button means turn off.
Oh yeah. But I'm just like she's still good looking even. And I'm like, well, at least I had good taste back in the day. And I can say that because now she's what, 30 something.
She's 40
in
now.
Her 40s.
She's 40 now.
Right.
It's kind of like talking about Kelly Kapowski, right? Because you were 15 when she was 15.
Right.
That was the thing.
Kelly Kapowski.
But so I
also like Hillary Banks was a big one for me too. Hillary Banks is also a big one.
Oh, we can be boys.
Or like
Tatiana Ali.
Yeah,
Tatiana is good, and like Ashley from Fresh Prince. Whenever she's
in college,
Ashley. Is
that's
hot.
what I'm talking about.
Very
Tatiana Ali.
She
was.
He's learning.
Yeah.
He's starting to word things correctly now. It's amazing. So we were talking about boy bands real fast because I put a poll on Twitter basically asking who you got between New Kids on the Block, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, or who was the other one that I had out there? New Edition. And oddly enough, it was pretty even here. We've got NSYNC was 39% favored. The second favorite was Backstreet Boys at 28. New Kids on the Block at 18. New Edition at 15. And if I had to choose, it'd be New Edition because I'm old.
Wait, are they choosing which one they like or which one
they
they're
like?
picking out?
Which one they like? Yeah.
So NSYNC's got the crown. Got it.
Yeah. So NSYNC's got the crown,
and that's
Good
because
times.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
No,
Strictly.
NSYNC was awesome.
I mean, yes, but that's strictly because of Justin Timberlake.
No, JC Chazé was the man of that band.
No. It was JT.
It was JT.
Come
like,
on, man.
Like Harry Styles is One Direction.
That's
like
like
without
trying to
Harry
go
Styles,
that's like trying to go to bat for Lance Bass.
No, man. Lance Bass was not the lead for any song out there.
no.
But what's funny about these boy bands is that there's always that one guy that you're like, okay, are you there because you complete the 5? Because you're not singing any of these songs, Joey Fatone. You're not singing any of these songs.
Oh, I thought it was Chris Kirkpatrick.
or Howie from Backstreet Boys. Why do I know their names?
Yeah, that's weird that you know them all like right off the top of your head.
Brian.
Brian Luttrell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one of the things that I found interesting in this is that people were responding on Twitter saying, "What about Color Me Bad?" Color Me Bad was my jam back in the day, dude. I love me some Color Me Bad. Boy band, did you know, guys? I don't think I've ever told you this. We've known each other for 2.5 years. I've never told you this. I have partied 4 times with a boy band star.
4 different boy band stars?
No,
just the same guy 4 times.
Which one?
Jordan Knight.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
back in 2004, lead singer of New
Can
Kids
we
on the
make
Block.
the case? Is boy band a
New
genre
Kids.
of music? Boy band, is that a genre of music? So
No.
can we count? We can't count Beastie Boys.
Right.
No,
as
no,
a
no,
boy
no.
band.
That's the argument, because someone asked me on Twitter, it was Rudy Campos Jr. asking the question, well, you don't consider Boys to Men to be a boy band? No, I don't.
Yeah, okay.
I don't.
I just need to know if that's like
because there's something about it.
It's like rock and roll. You don't know what it. You can't define it, but you know it when you hear it.
Yes,
like that's a boy band.
98 Degrees was a boy band.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna say the Beatles were a boy band.
People do.
No,
People do,
They do.
but people do, but
No.
they're it's different because they're I mean, Ringo Starr was a hell of a drummer. You know, Paul McCartney was a hell of a musician as well, still is.
Yeah.
It's just different, man, because I think it's about the style and like the dance moves and whatnot that make a boy band a boy band. That's why I don't consider Boys to Men to be one.
Okay.
But then again, I consider
There's got to be some choreography. There's got to be some dancing.
now there was choreourography from the Motown Philly video. If you saw that
Motown
video,
Philly was the jam.
that was a great video. They have the moves, but they didn't have to. But what's funny about Boys to Men is that there's now just 3 of them performing, and they have residency in Las Vegas. And I saw a documentary on Netflix about it, where it shows that all these women in their late 30s to early 50s all just go to this concert, and it's like 99% women who go see Boys to Men. I'm all about it. I want to go there. I want to take my wife there.
I want to go.
Just the ratio.
I mean, that sounds like the odds when I first got on campus at Texas State.
Yeah.
It was 10-1 my freshman orientation.
Oh, that's so good.
God, I wish I knew you in college. We're only a few years off, but I think we were there right around the same time, man. So awesome. We're going to put a bow on the show when we come back. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com.
They're hitting the hardwood and hooping it up. College basketball is back on the court, and we've got all the action.
A three-pointer, it's good!
The games you want to hear all through bowl season. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 115-90. Karl Anthony Towns scored 25 points and grabbed 12 rebounds to send the Spurs to their 4th loss in a row. The Austin Spurs were victorious over Mexico City, 99-91. Spurs assignment player Josh Primo finished with 11 points, 4 blocks, and 2 steals. The UTSA Roadrunners host the UAB Blazers tomorrow for a chance to secure the West Division Championship in Conference USA. Kickoff is at 2:30. Be sure to pack the dome. And tonight, the Dallas Mavericks play against the Phoenix Suns at 9. Luka Doncic is expected to miss his second game in a row as he recovers from a left ankle sprain. The team has listed the star Slovenian as day-to-day. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
Hi everyone, Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
According to TxDOT, on average, one motorcyclist dies every day on Texas roads. Motorcycle accidents can cause severe injuries, from road rash and broken bones to spinal injuries, brain injuries, and death. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious motorcycle accidents and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Diamonds Direct is breaking all the rules this weekend with the biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. 3 days of extra savings. Your final chance before the holidays to save an extra 20% on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. Huge savings across the board. And the selection is like double with entire designer lines flown in for this event. This is the best pre-holiday buying opportunity ever. Special financing, too. Details at diamondsdirect.com. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Great news, Slackers! Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar is now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. North Star, St. Mary's, Slackadoches, and the Medical Center. Slackers is the home for 7-day-a-week happy hour, now starting at noon every day. And by popular demand, Slackers brings back the signature frozen drinks. Bring a date, bring a crew, or come on down solo. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar serves you up all your favorites and quenches your thirst 7 days a week, starting every day at noon. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
It's that time of year again when Smoky Mo's Barbecue is gearing up to smoke Thanksgiving turkeys for our neighbors in the San Antonio area. Each turkey will be made using our secret rub and smoked to perfection in-house. You can buy it solo or with our feast that includes sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, and a delicious pumpkin pie from Tootie Pies. Pre-order at SmokyMo'sBarbecue.com or by calling your store. Don't dawdle. We sell out every year. Happy Smoked Turkey Day, y'all, from Smoky Mo's Barbecue.
Sunday, Prescott and the Cowboys ride into Kansas City. Can a Chiefs slow down a team that's won 7 of its last 8? Find out Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, this is Paul Feinbaum, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Make up your mind.
decide to walk with me.
Hey, I went through this last night. You stop it.
Around the lake tonight.
You are causing people to crash, and traffic's
around
already
the lake
horrible.
tonight.
That's it.
By my side.
Nope.
Redeeming myself, I am now retired from singing.
No, it's got to be an actual karaoke bar.
No,
I
100
don't
people
know what you think you heard, but
I-
that wasn't redemption.
I don't know, but 100 people were there last night. I'm sure there was more than 100 people listening to this show. But hey, San Antonio Sports Star is the home for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, in action Sunday afternoon against the Kansas City Chiefs. You can listen to the game here. Pregame at 2:30, kickoff at 3:25. We got the Blitz coming up at 4 o'clock. Jason Minix is out. In his place is Brandon Medina and Quinn Hudson. We have Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, on at 5 o'clock, and John Machota, who covers the Cowboys for The Athletic, at 5:30. Tanner, your first show under your belt, man. How did you do? How'd you like it?
That was a blast. How did I do?
You did great, man.
I thought
except for that Topanga comment, but still.
It was a little sketchy, but I stand by it. I stand by it. I'm not going away from anything. But it was a blast. It was a blast.
You did a great job,
Thank
man.
you.
Everyone, have a great weekend. Pack the dome. Go Roadrunners. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Every football season history is made